actually start filming this video, I'd like to welcome to Patreon Dean Mills. Dean has been a subscriber from the very beginning, and he has encouraged me to continue throughout all that time. I believe he subscribed to my very first video, the beginning of my new life. So thank you, Dean, and welcome aboard. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Trev's Kitchen. Today I'm going to do something a little different and completely out of character for me. I'm going to make a vegetarian spaghetti bolognese, and I think actually it could be very quickly adapted to vegan, although don't quote me on that because I'm not quite sure what vegans don't eat. As we all know, I'm not a herbivore. I'm definitely more of a carnivore. But anyway, let's get on with the cooking. So we have the pan here, and in the pan obviously we're going to turn it on. So we're heating the pan up a little bit here now, and in the pan we're going to put some EVO, the old extra virgin olive oil, about, I don't know, 2 to 3 tablespoons. And along with that, I'm going to put a decent knob of butter, like so. There we go, one decent knob of butter. And the idea of the butter is going to help give some colour to the vegetables. Just going to warm that up a little bit. Melt the butter into the olive oil. The olive oil, of course, will stop the butter from burning. I'm just starting to sizzle away a little bit there now, quite nicely. Now I've actually prepared all the vegetables already. Just going to turn that down. The reason I've prepared all the vegetables already, the prep time for this probably took me the best time of an hour. I'm pretty sure you didn't just want to watch me prep the vegetables. So anyway, there's the oil and all nice and hot. Now in here I have an eggplant chopped up, like so. That was one eggplant, it's now all chopped up. That's going to go in first. What I did with the eggplant, or aubergine I should say, I'm in England, lived in America for too long, is I diced it all up very finely, as you see. I put it in salted water. The reason I put it in some salted water is, number one, if there's any bitterness to it, it helps to remove that bitterness, and number two, eggplant soaks up so much oil as you cook it, otherwise it makes it, you know, not so healthy, although I am using mainly olive oil. Let's get this turned back up a bit again, and I'm going to stir this until it starts to cook a little bit. What I'm actually going to do here is obviously spaghetti bolognese, or my version of a vegetarian version of spaghetti bolognese. And I'm going to do some garlic bread to go with it. Okay. I'm just going to move this board out of the way. It has some chopped up parsley, which I picked from my herbs this morning, ready for my version of garlic bread. I have in here 3 mushrooms I've chopped up small, or finely, or whatever, and they're all from mushrooms about this size, whatever size that is, I don't know. So they can go in. I also have chopped up here 1 sort of medium sized onion, about this size. So those can go in too. there. It's about 1/4 inch dice, I guess I've made everything into, whatever that is. 6mm. Frying away quite nicely there. I'm now going to add half a pepper, which I've diced up, as you can see. There's the other half. That half can go in. Put half a pepper in here now. Right, that's aubergine now is starting to soften up. The onions are starting to go a little opaque. Of course, is what we want. I have here 3 tomatoes chopped up, diced up, which are the size, which I think on the packet came from Tesco's yesterday. It's Tesco's salad tomatoes, and it says they're from Morocco, and the size is 47 to 57mm. So 3 of those diced up. I'm using the fresh ones because I'd like to make some freshness to the sauce. And also yesterday there were 39p for 6, so you can't really beat that. So they're going to go in now. They're in there now. Throw those in. Now I'm going to add, there's 2 very large cloves of garlic chopped up, half a teaspoonful, no sorry that's a lie, 1/4 teaspoonful of ground black pepper, half a teaspoonful of salt, and 3/4 teaspoon of mixed herbs. There we have them, and they're just going to go all in together, just like so. I'm just going to allow that garlic now to fry off for a few seconds there. I don't want to burn it. It's nothing worse than burnt garlic. It's very bitter and nasty. So I have here a carton of tomato passata. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm assuming it's like crushed tomatoes. I've never actually used it before. There's a new one on me, but I'm just looking at the sauce. It looks like how I would have bought crushed tomatoes in the past. Let's see if we can open this up. Looks like I need some scissors, which I left over here. Open this up, and we're going to pour that in. I'm going to use the whole container full. I'm going to stir that in. I'm going to now turn the heat down to low. Put the lid on and leave it for probably 10 minutes to simmer. Right, the pasta sauce is coming along very nicely here. I did taste it just now and it is a little acidic, so I added about half a teaspoonful of brown sugar to it. I've moved it, as you can see, to the back burner. It was actually boiling too hard on the front, and so I moved it to the back. Got some water here now, just come to the boil. I'm going to add about a teaspoonful of salt, and get some pasta out. And I never know how to measure this stuff. It's only for me anyway. So. Boiling away. I'm going to add a drop of olive oil. I think it stops it sticking. People say it changes the flavour. They don't like it, but they're not eating it. It's me. I'm going to put this in. Push it down a bit so it starts to cook. Into the water. Turn that down now. It starts to soften up. I'll keep moving it apart, so I don't want it sticking together, but the olive oil should help keep it separated. Right, let's just come along there now. We'll get rid of tidy up a little bit here. Salt back in the cupboard. Pasta back in this cupboard. I don't eat it very often, so guess where it belongs? Right in the back. I'll put a lid on there. Now I'm going to get the garlic bread done. Oh, get the butter back out. I forgot to leave the butter out, didn't I? Hard butter. Butter knife again. And take off a piece of butter. I don't know, a couple of ounces. I have in the bowl a couple of ounces of butter or so. I have some parsley ready to go in. And I previously mixed this up. This is my garlic paste I made. There's 3 small cloves of garlic in there. There is a twist on it for me. There's about half an inch, about half an inch or a centimetre and a bit of ginger also in there, ground up. And to make it help it to go into a paste, I added a little coarse sea salt and abrasive for grinding it down with, which makes it a lot easier to grind into a smooth paste. And since I'm using unsalted butter, I wanted to add a little salt to it. Into the dish, we're going to add the parsley, then a teaspoon. A little bit of the pestle and mortar, or out of the mortar anyway, the other bits of the pestle. My garlic and ginger puree. It's about 3/4 garlic to 1/4 ginger. Take a fork. Yeah, it's a bit hard at the moment. This is where you need a microwave and just zap it in the microwave for 10 seconds to soften the butter. So I don't have a microwave. You never know. One day, if I get rich, I might buy a microwave. But before I can do that, I need more electric. I mean by that, I need a bigger inverter. I don't think my little 250 watt inverter is going to run a microwave. It struggles to charge my computer up, and that only takes 99 amps. Definitely proven a little tricky to mash up here. Let's just have a check on the pasta. Yeah, that needs a little bit more cooking yet. Bring the chopping board back while that's softening up a little bit, and let's get the bread. Now, as I don't like wasting anything, I tried this the other day and it worked absolutely brilliantly actually. And I do love multi-grain bread anyway. So we'll take out the doorsteps or the end pieces or whatever you want to call them. We'll light the oven. Right, that's the oven lit. Continue trying to mash this up together. It's starting to soften up now. It's starting to get some mix to it. I suppose I could have made a little bain-marie and sat it in that to warm it through a little bit, but I'm getting there. Now of course this is a part that wouldn't work for vegans, the butter. And of course you wouldn't be able to put the butter in at the start like I did to make the sauce. So there we have it. The butter is all mixed in with the garlic, ginger and parsley. Take my butter knife again, and I'm going to very generously spread this on the bread. I must say this Tesco's multi-grain bread I found very good. It seems to keep quite well. You can keep it for a week quite easily in the bread bin, and it's 79p a loaf. It's quite reasonably priced for a decent piece of bread. There's my bread done. I'll just put the bread now into a tray, so I'm going to pop in the oven. I guess he's looking like it's just right there. Get a piece. Yes it is. Turn the spaghetti off. Drain it through a colander. And let the hot water sit back in underneath the spaghetti for now. So I'll keep it warm for a moment. Sauce is looking really good. It's cooked down really nicely now. All those vegetables have infused together with all the flavours. Smells good. Just throw that plate in the oven for a few seconds to warm it through. That's warm enough. And I'm going to start dishing up. I'm going to turn the sauce off. Some spaghetti. And that sauce. As always, I make enough for about 6 people. There's only me. So my sauce. Grab a grater. Put the plate off there. Some cheese, which of course is Parmigiano Reggiano. Just we're going to grate some of that all over the top there. Nice dollop of cheese over the top. Half decent cheese. There we have it. Now I guess I have to taste it. I'm chopping it up because I don't want to make a mess all over the floor. So here goes. It's not bad. It's not going to convince me to become a vegetarian, but I don't mind eating the odd vegetarian meal. One of the main reasons I won't become a vegetarian, I'm not a big fan of carbohydrates. So to see me eating spaghetti is probably twice a year occurrence. I'm going to sit down there at my table in a moment and finish that off. That cheese really does give it a good finish. Anyway, that leads me to say thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate all my Patreons. Your help is very much appreciated in these hard times. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Over 65% of my viewers are not yet subscribed, so if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd very much appreciate it. And if you click the bell icon, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a new video. But it's not difficult to remember. I release one on a Wednesday at noon and one on a Saturday at noon during this current crisis. Well, like a complete and utter plonker, guess what I forgot was in the oven to go with the spaghetti bolognese? So we're going to have to try that now. My garlic and gingerbread. So I still have my dinner here to eat anyway, which I'll be finishing in a moment. Get a piece of this bread out. Slice it up like so. I say it's steaming hot at the moment, but I better give it a try. There's something about it with that ginger in it. I'm going to take a second bite just to confirm what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's not to my taste at all. That's one recipe off the internet I'm not going to be doing again. I hope the ducks like it, because I don't. And not to be outdone by the great Keith Floyd. Okay, it's not a glass of wine. I'm going to wash it down with a beer. Oh, that's tasty. That is Hobgoblin Imperial Ruby beer at 6.6% alcohol. It was given to me by a boater that's moored a couple of moorings away from me. Actually, one mooring away from me. He had that a couple of nights ago, apparently, and he didn't like it. He bought a 4-pack and didn't like it. So, well, he must have tried 2, because he gave me 2 of them and said, would I like them? I like them. It's very good. Thank you very much. That just leaves me to say, thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.